It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Ernie Johnson welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm here with Shaq and the Jet. And it is Raptor basketball tonight as the Toronto Raptors go up against the Memphis Grizzlies. Well, for the Grizzlies, as good as they've been, they know this one won't be easy. Trying to steal a road win against a very capable team. And both teams are up for this one. And the clock ticking down to tip off. Kenny, you won 2 championships, might I remind you, back to back. Explain to us the makeup of a champion.
Well,
and not the makeup you're wearing right now.
I never.
But the makeup of a championship team.
However, number one is the belief. You have to believe and trust in your teammates. Trust is the most important thing. And most people think trust comes from on the offensive end, but it's trust on the defensive end. Meaning, Ernie, if I'm going to send you baseline, I said that's the game plan. I have to trust that my teammate's going to be there, and I'm going to do it regardless if he misses his assignment 1 or 2 times. That's the trust you have to have.
Ernie, you know why I like drinking Shaq Fu Punch?
Why?
Because it's about finding the right mix. So in basketball terms, it's about coaches, star role players. Everything has to be working together. That's why these guys can be great.
I can't believe that you just promoted one of your products into a discussion of what it takes to become a champion in the NBA.
I wasn't really promoting. I was just giving you a Shaq-nology.
That's his 12th promotion. I'm going to start promoting things.
I'm not promoting the Shaq-nologies. You know what? I won't say nothing else about myself or any product I'm endorsing. Man up, you two.
Here's Kevin Harlan.
We are live, the home of the Raptors in downtown Toronto, the Air Canada Centre. The excitement of the NBA is on the way. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. For the Raptors, happy to be here in Toronto right now in the midst of a nice homestand. These guys are hot, no doubt about it, continuing to put up win after win.
I'll tell you what, Kevin, this team is really homed in on wanting to play its best basketball prior to the All-Star break. They want to have some positive momentum going into that break, and the way they're playing, they're going to have it.
Definitely. You know, you don't want to go into the All-Star break feeling bad about yourselves as a team, and you don't have to worry about that because they're looking great.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. So on the floor for Memphis. At the 2 is Lee with Allen at the 3. Randolph is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. And it's Conley in at the 1.
Great hustle to turn the block shot into a fast break hoop. That's a big-time play.
And the Grizzlies, guys, a powerful post-play team. Mike Conley, though, is still the straw that stirs the drink. I mean, he may be the most underrated point guard in our league. His quickness and ability to penetrate the lane brings a great balance to their offense.
And just about a minute into the first quarter. And here's Lowry. A 14-point game for him in the win against Boston.
But it didn't deter him from attacking defensively. His pressure was terrific. He also got 3 steals in that game.
Back to Johnson. Clock at 4. For the 3. That's good. Johnson's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
Don't underestimate him. He can knock that down.
About a minute and a half through the first quarter. Conley against Lowry. Conley, the pass to Randall. And that one falls, coming off Conley's feet.
And he's made more than his fair share of those today.
Lowry kicks to Scola. Johnson sets the screen for Scola. Back to Lowry. Johnson in the corner. Shoots the 3. And again, Toronto with the triple.
Yeah, poor job defensively, giving him such a clear look at the basket from 3-point range.
Lee dishes to Randolph. The feed to Allen. Pass to Conley. Shoots it up. Rebounded by Valanciunas.
And really, despite that miss, they've had a solid start offensively.
Toronto working the ball around now. Pass to DeRozan. Lowry against Lee. Lowry drives in. Rejected by Gasol. For Memphis, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Allen passes to Conley. Picked by Randolph. Conley against Lowry. Randolph a screen on Lowry. Conley's shot is off.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Lowry kicks to DeRozan. From deep three-point range, cannot hit. And the Grizzlies going the other way now. Fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
I mean, no stress in that one. Again, almost looked like a shoot-around for them. Amazing at how well they shot the basketball.
And even more impressive, Greg, considering it was on the road. I mean, it's rare that you'd see a team get that hot away from home.
Picked by Randolph. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. That one on DeRozan. And to nobody's surprise, Zach Randolph enjoyed an outstanding season, Clark, in 14-15.
And, you know, ironically, by taking more of a backseat to front court make Marc Gasol, Randolph played better, the best rebound rate of his career.
The Grizzlies shooting their first foul shots of the night here.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
Yeah, guys, they can feel very good about themselves when you bring up those statistics. Impressive numbers.
And he's good on the second.
And for the Grizzlies, they had to be encouraged by Randolph's play after signing him to that extension. I mean, he'd been set back by the knee injury, but he came back in a big way.
Now, here's DeRozan. And now, in transition is Lee. Here we go. Allen dishes to Gasol. A second chance effort, and Randolph with the lay-in. Randolph's got 7 points.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
Outside DeRozan. Down low. And there's Valanciunas on the assist from DeRozan. Valanciunas has got his first points of the game.
And Randolph happy to be back in Memphis. He said, this is home. This is where I belong. And look, he's helped establish this team as a power in the Western Conference. And for me, this is the right place for him to be.
Now here is Lowry following the miss by Zach Randolph. Allen passes to Conley. Randolph a screen. Conley kicks to Lee. DeRozan against Conley. To the paint, here's Gasol. Tries from 10, and again, it's Zach Randolph. Randolph's got 9 points.
Zach Randolph getting up there in his mid-30s, but his game has never been based on explosiveness. So it's all about strength, skill, and craft when you talk about Zebo, and he's aging gracefully.
And they're on the 2K leaderboard of the teams that have been tormenting opponents defensively this month. In third, the Grizzlies. Fifth, the Raptors.
I think these teams have made the adjustments defensively, and both are seeing their defensive numbers rise.
Some changes for Toronto. Biombo, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Patterson comes in for Luis Scola. And it's Joseph in for Kyle Lowry. And Memphis also making a switch. Barnes is checked in. And Randolph Clark can struggle in matchups against quicker power forwards or those spread fours.
Yeah, but even though he struggles on the perimeter against those guys, he punishes them when he gets them inside in his operating area at the offensive end. Most big men have a hard time dealing with him in the paint.
Very good point. Here's Conley, following the score by DeMar DeRozan. Lee kicks to Gasol. Shoots from 8. That's good. Joseph with the ball. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Dishes it to Johnson. The shot no good.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Outside Conley. Gasol setting the pick for Conley. Looking for Gasol. He gets it there. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
And Toronto making a change here. Ross is checked in. Memphis also making some changes. Jeff Green is checked in for Randolph. Carter comes in for Lee. And it's Chalmers in for Mike Conley.
And Marc Gasol surprisingly nimble for a 7-footer. He really moves his feet well at both ends of the floor.
Now here's Joseph. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Ross dishes to Johnson. Kicks it to Joseph. On the wing, Johnson. Covered by Barnes. Johnson attacking. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Johnson's got his third bucket of the night.
Uh-oh, a little showboating at the end of that one.
Chalmers passes to Barnes. Gasol setting the pick for Barnes. Feeds it to Green. Goes back up. Gasol somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Gasol's got 7 points in the game.
They've been hot here early, dropping them in left and right.
Rolling, rolling, rolling. We'll see how long they can keep it going.
Down low. They double team Johnson. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. There's the call. Memphis gets the foul. And guys, we saw a nice development for James Johnson last year. He was 59% from the floor. The closest he had ever come to that in his 6 years was 46%. What a dramatic Clark improvement there.
Yeah, and I think it was all due to shot selection. He dialed back on the number of threes that he was taking the year before, and his percentage went up.
First free throw is good.
And back to James Johnson. Yeah, he improved his shooting percentage, but the rest of his game has been kind of in a holding pattern. He's averaging neither highs nor lows in any other category, and that means to me he may have flattened out in terms of reaching his potential.
Second free throw, no good.
Talking about James Johnson, the reality is he's a role player. Like most NBA guys, he certainly can be a valuable role player, especially if he can shoot near 60% from the field again. But don't expect him to suddenly become LeBron. That's not his game, nor his ceiling. Excellent, really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
And Joseph kicks to Ross. Johnson right side. He dishes it to Joseph. Puts up a 3. Patterson, that's good. Patterson's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Now we go to Doris Burke, who spoke with head coach Dave Yeager. Doris?
Kevin, when I asked him about their game plan on the defensive end, he said they were looking to clog things up in the middle of the floor and not allow any clear looks at the basket from inside the paint. He feels if they can accomplish that, they'll have the upper hand on defense. Let's see how it plays out, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thank you very much.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Now we know that Marc Gasol was one of the most sought-after free agents this past summer. Clark all along most figured he'd be back in Memphis.
Yep, a winning team, max dollars. And don't forget now, he went to high school in Memphis while his brother Powell played there. He's where he belongs.
a moment here to see the standings for the Eastern Conference. And you know, guys, some interesting stories have unfolded here as we move through the middle of the season. You look at the Cavaliers, and not a surprise, really, to see them sitting there in that #1 spot in the conference. The excellent brand of basketball they've been putting on display lately has been terrific. And, of course, the Toronto Raptors, 3.5 back.
And for the Raptors, they had plenty of doubters before the season started, but I can't imagine there's anybody out there that's taking them lightly anymore.
There better not be. I mean, if anybody still is doing that, they haven't been watching this group play. I mean, this is a dangerous team.
Right wing, here's Patterson. No good with the triple.
Marc Gasol, a first-time All-Star starter last season. He and his brother Powell both starting in that game. The first time that's ever happened in league history, and having both those guys go head-to-head.
Lets it fly from 18. Good, he hits the jump shot. And it's a 6-point Memphis lead.
Yeah, it's just a smart shot, taking advantage of the mismatch.
Well, with a stroke like that and the height advantage as well, the mid-range J is almost a gimme.
Oh, listen, no doubt you could argue Marc Gasol is the best center in the league right now. I mean, this guy does it all. Defends, rebounds, passes, scores. I mean, he's also a great teammate. They all love him. And to me, that matters in the big picture. When you're talking about developing chemistry and trust, sometimes the difference between winning and winning it all is whether or not your teammates like you.
Raptors trail by 4. Here's Joseph. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. We've got 22 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Johnson. The Grizzlies pull it in.
You know, a team's rebounding is one of the great measures of its energy, and theirs has been terrific in the first quarter.
Yeah, they've brought it in terms of having another level of intensity right from the tip.
Chalmers dishes to Gasol. Three-pointer. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Grizzlies lead by 4. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. And the Grizzlies, a team that's dealt with their share of tough playoff losses. But, you know, you talked to point guard Mike Conley, and as he told us before the game, he still feels a championship is within reach.
We feel like we're a team that's had to go through a lot of adversity. We've been through a lot of things that's set us back. You know, we feel like we can be just as good as anybody else, and why not us?
One big reason why not them is what happened to Conley. Greg losing him in the playoffs last year was the biggest adversity they went through. Can you make a case that it just made them tougher, or did it really take something out of them?
You know, Kevin, it's really hard to say. A tough break, obviously, losing Mike, and I mean that literally as well. But their problems did set them back, and maybe they can be just as good as anybody else, but until they are, they're going to have some issues.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And taking a look at the Grizzlies' performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
You can tell the point of emphasis has been to get to the offensive glass.
Yep, and they've set the tone here early with the hustle they've come out with.
Taking a look at the Grizzlies. A lot of defense with Conley and Lee in the backcourt. Allen is out there with Green, and it's Randolph in at the center position. Conley, the pass to Green. It's Allen on the wing. Screen by Lee. Here's Randolph. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
You know, Dwayne Casey was once a player at Kentucky, took me and hosted me on my recruiting visit at Kentucky back in 1979. Actually got his coaching start at the school as well.
Now, here's DeRozan. He had 34 points in the win against Boston.
And boy, did he have it going offensively. He lived at the line during that game as well, and that's where he got a lot of those points.
As we were talking about Coach Dwayne Casey, he's found his place in Toronto. Took them, Greg, to back-to-back postseason appearances.
And, you know, it's good to see him finally establishing himself as a head coach. He's really known as a defensive specialist, but once he gets in charge of a team, he'll have them focused on defense and really stresses that in every practice.
And so Lowry nails both of them.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
Second quarter of action, about a minute and a half played. Randolph a screen. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Conley's got his 4th assist in this one.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Now, here's DeRozan. Right now, checking his stats, he's averaging over 23 points a game. Second shot opportunity, and the shot is good. The Grizzly lead has been cut down to 4 on the bucket from Valanciunas.
Just a grinder, always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass, and that's one of the things he brings to the table.
Here's Conley. 20 points for him last game against Denver. And it's Green missing. The Raptors have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Lowry with the ball. He's picked up by Lee. Ross kicks to Scola. And it's Valanciunas finishing it off.
And what a gutty play. I mean, muscles his way to the rebound and then just pounds it home for the putback.
Well said, G.A. The battle on the boards, Clark, could go a long way toward deciding this game.
You know, and if that play is any indication, that's a battle they're willing to put every ounce of their energy into winning.
Here is Lowry after the made shot from Zach Randolph. And it's Lowry penetrating. Up and in, it's good. First basket of the game for him. 1 for 4 shooting.
Shaked and baked with the crossover move, and that's what freed him for the score.
And got him on the wrong foot and then just blew by him.
Lee kicks to Green. And the pass to Conley. Some nice passing there by Memphis. No one covering. And that's 17 points for Zach Randolph.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
Scola, a screen on Lee. DeRozan with it. And Allen picks him up defensively. And the basket by Scola. And one thing about DeMar DeRozan, such sweet mid-range jump shooting accuracy. It was his bread and butter in college, and Greg, the same here in the pros.
And he gets tremendous lift going up, really squares himself to the rim and releases it quickly. Almost an impossible shot to defend.
And Toronto has possession following the score by Memphis. Lowry dishes to DeRozan. He kicks to Scola. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Scola's got 6 here in this quarter.
He's really starting to ramp it up now, getting involved in the offense here after being held without a point in the first.
Green, the screen. Conley against Lowry. Conley kicks to Randolph. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. They get Luis Scola. Thing about DeMar DeRozan, he came into the league fairly unpolished, struggled to handle the ball, created then his own shot, and but sometimes he would create for others too. Yeah. But he's settled down. You can see the growth.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. You could see the physical talent was there in terms of him playing the two. The question was, could he make the commitment mentally to become a great player? Well, from what he's done the last few years, I would have to say he's definitely been able to do that.
And he makes the first.
And, you know, getting back to DeRozan, he's put a spit shine on his offense. Over the past 2 seasons, averaged over 20 points a game, was also good for 3 or 4 assists, showing everybody how work ethic can overcome unrefined skills.
And Zach Randolph drops them both.
And, you know, for DeMar DeRozan, scary to think that he's still scratching the surface of his potential. Made his first All-Star appearance in 2014, was a little dinged up last year, but still very effective. No doubt he's the real deal.
They're leaning on that mid-range shot right now. That's 6 of their last 10 points from that area.
And it's working. As long as the defense gives you space, hey, let it fly.
Now here's Lee. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Nuggets in Denver. Conley gets the bucket.
You know, he's had better starts, obviously, but he's shaking it off here in the second.
Lowry passes to DeRozan. Scola sets a screen for Lowry. Inside. Scola, no luck. Memphis leading by 4. Lee dishes to Conley. Randolph, a screen on Scola. Scola against Conley. Jeff Green on the wing. Clock at 6. And another basket for Memphis.
And really, that's what you want every time down the floor. A simple, high-percentage shot.
Well, we don't think of point guards as rebounders necessarily, but here are the ones that have corralled the most boards in the last month of the NBA. 4th, Kyle Lowry.
And this is a unique group of players. It's not often we talk about the rebound leaders at the point, but with these guys, it's warranted because of just how well they do it.
And, Greg, I think it gives them an edge over most of their counterparts at the point guard spot. I mean, desire, attitude, and they really look to mix it up. They're not afraid to do anything to help their team's cause.
Now, here's Patterson. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. And DeRozan kicks to Biyombo. Back to DeRozan. He made that one. Basket number 3 for him. He's also missed 2.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Clark, looking around the league, there's no team that teams want to play less than the Memphis Grizzlies. They just wear you down.
Well, they play a physical brand of basketball. They play hard. Everybody's on the same page. And even if you beat the Grizzlies, they take a lot out of you in terms of how they try to wear you down.
Now DeRozan. Carter's missing on the 3. DeRozan passes to Joseph. Johnson dishes to Biyombo. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. It's DeRozan with the drive. An easy layup after coming off the pick. And now just a 2-point Grizzly lead. The Grizzlies have gone 8 of 10 from the field here in the second quarter. You've got to like how they've shot the ball. Carter kicks to Barnes. Randolph sets a screen for Barnes. Gasol a screen. Stolen by Joseph. Fast break Toronto. Joseph leading the charge.
And while we have a moment, let's check the stats for DeRozan. He's been fantastic over the last 10 games or so, averaging about 24 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. He has been at his most dynamic, no question about it, a real handful.
Well, he's operating at the highest level right now, one of the truly elite talents in the NBA.
All right now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
And the first one at the line is good. That one drops. He ties it up. Now Chalmers. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Passes it to Gasol. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
You know, Dave Yeager, the coach for the Grizzlies, has really become a big-name coach quite quickly. You know, he's worked his way up the Memphis coaching ladder and has had a ton of success early on in his career.
And the success we've been mentioning with Coach Dave Yeager. He was the second fastest active coach to get to 100 wins.
And Kevin made his way in terms of coaching, started in the D-League and other minor leagues before becoming an assistant with the Grizzlies, and really was the architect, if you will, of the defense that his team is so well known for. He's done a lot for this franchise and looks to be on track to become their winningest coach ever.
And so Marc Gasol nails both of them.
You know Gasol is playing well. 13 points, and he's also got 1 block to add to the mix today.
Yeah, and that's just a small part of what we've seen, but it's been a solid contribution defensively.
Now, here's Biyombo. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. And count it, 2 points with a chance for 1 more at the free throw line.
They've been getting it inside at every opportunity and getting results, too.
Yeah, that's a winning formula as far as I'm concerned. They've been the aggressors and far more assertive on the offensive end.
The Raptors have shot 5 of 6 at the foul line tonight.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
Those are good numbers for any team. I mean, they can feel extremely good about their free throw shooting percentage this season.
Memphis trailing here. Now, here's Chalmers. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Here's Carter. And it's blocked. Johnson against Chalmers. And Joseph kicks to DeRozan. Fades away. Again, Toronto.
And now he's taken a solid opening in the quarter and built on it here in the second.
And what Patrick Patterson gives you guys is solid all-around play. He can help you in a lot of areas. High basketball IQ, high character, understands his role, knows his limitations, and stays within himself. Over the last month, let's see how the Toronto Raptors fared in the NBA ranking. 2nd in blocks, 4th in fewest turnovers per game. You know, they also show up in the top 5 in opponent scoring. That's a good number, and that's a good place to be as a team in that statistical category.
And how about that sky-high ranking in terms of blocks per game? Sometimes that can indicate a team's allowing too many drives to the rim, but it's sure nice to have bigs who can send it away as a last resort.
Now, here's Randolph. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Nuggets in Denver.
And don't forget about his work on the glass. I mean, he contributed in a number of ways.
Just 5 on the clock. Carter inside the 3-point line. And again, Memphis no good. And going back to Patterson for just a moment, he's been lauded for his mature approach. Ever since high school in West Virginia, he was involved in a highly publicized recruiting battle between Florida and Kentucky, ultimately choosing the latter.
Yeah, and you know, the part of his game, Kevin, that he's really worked on is his ability to face up and shoot. Really starting to evolve into a guy that can space the floor, that space 4. And when he's hitting that jumper at a high percentage, I think his value to the team goes up exponentially.
That's good.
That's a nice drive there, Kevin. He beat the lone defender and was wide open under the hoop.
And here is Joseph. There's the pick. Biyombo, the pass to Johnson. Rejected by Gasol. Right wing. Nobody near Barnes. That's good, and so Chalmers with the assist. Barnes has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. 24 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. In the corner, it's Patterson. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Memphis leading. Chalmers with it. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. No good from Gasol.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Grizzlies out in front. They lead by a bucket. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Thank you, Kevin and Dwayne. A very tight game here. What's the #1 thing you need to do in the second half to try to get out ahead and break this thing open?
Well, #1 is we got to make sure we get in a defensive disposition. You know, right now we're kind of trading buckets. We're anticipating, putting them on the foul line. So we got to play from an anticipatory style of defense, whereas we're not reacting to where they have us on our heels.
Coach, thanks for the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
Okay, Doris, much appreciated. And now for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. What a performance so far tonight by Zach Randolph. He had 21 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. Coming in off a tough game last time out for him, he's clearly turned the page and is bouncing back tonight in a big way. Kenny, what do you think about the Grizzlies?
Well, they're paying attention to the boards, and that's a good thing. When you're trying to get ahead and stay ahead, it often comes down to a few key possessions. Any extra rebounds you can get is a big difference. I like their intensity out there.
Shaq, let's get your insight on Toronto.
They need to turn up the defense intensity and let the game get taken to them instead of the other way around. Coming out in the second half, they got to play with a chip on their shoulder, Ernie. You know, don't get pushed around on D. It's payback time.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We're going to sit right here and wait for the end of the game and talk at you again.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. It's been one outstanding game from Zach Randolph.
You just love it when the decision-making is as good as it was there in that first half. Didn't force anything.
Guys, I think here in the second half, though, they may want him to be a little more assertive. Start hunting more for his shot, even the tough one.
And for the Grizzlies, they're shooting 59% up to this point. They're working for great shots, and they're hitting them. Lowry and DeRozan are the guard tandem. Jonas Valanciunas is out there with Stola, and it's Johnson in at the small forward. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Now here's Allen, 4 on the shot clock, and taken away by Johnson. There's the dish to Lowry. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down. Lowry's got it all tied up now for the Raptors. Here's Conley. Gasol a screen. The drive by Lee. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Conley's got assist number 8 now on the night.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Now here's Lowry. He feeds it to DeRozan. Screen by Valanciunas. Off the screen. The shot by Johnson, no good.
And that was a difficult shot from mid-range simply because the defense was engaged.
Yeah, and I think the quickness of the closeout really threw him off.
Gasol, no good. Toronto's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. And it's DeRozan missing.
Nice effort anyway to change his shot and get around the defender maybe next time.
Just over a minute and a half played here in the third. Lee kicks to Conley. They double-team Conley. 6 on the shot clock. And oh, here we go. Lowry's got the fast break chance. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
And what a game for Johnson. 12 points and 2 steals as well.
As successful as he's been inside and outside, it's posing some serious matchup problems for the defense.
You know, when a guy's having such a complete game like he is today, fellas, it's really the most difficult type of guy to try to defend because you don't know what to take away.
Good on the second free throw. Now Conley. They've been leaning on him for a decent chunk of their offense. He's averaging over 15 points a game. And Gasol now top of the key. Six to shoot. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Gasol's got 15.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Conley against Lowry. To the middle, out to DeRozan. And again, no good by Toronto.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
That is good. Lee's got 4 points this quarter.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
There's got to be a wall of defense when it comes to attacking the paint. Plain and simple.
Without question, Zach Randolph displaying his skills today.
He's really taking it to him inside. They got to find a way to slow him down.
Put your hands together for your dance time.
This is how the Raptors stack up over the last 10 games. First in blocks, 4th in free throw percentage. You know, they also show up in the top 5 in opponent scoring. That's a good number, and that's a good place to be as a team in that statistical category.
And going back to that top ranking in terms of block shots, for me, it's been pure dominance. Defensively, they have such great presence around the rim, and at times, that gets in your head.
Terrence Ross is checked in for DeMar DeRozan. The 15-footer. And again, Toronto no luck.
Tell you what, shooting 20% to start the second half doesn't bode well for how this will play out for this squad.
Here's Gasol. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. Well, so much great defense has come from the shooting guard position over the years. And here's a rundown of the players wreaking havoc at that spot this year. Tony Allen third.
And both the hand speed and general quickness of the players on that list are outstanding. Those are the qualities you need to be an effective perimeter defender.
And at shooting guard is where you'll usually find the team's best defender, and this group illustrates that clearly and perfectly. These fellas play the best on-ball D that you'll see in the NBA.
Shooting 2. Shooting 2.
Free throw good, Gasol. And he makes both free throws.
We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
Johnson outside. Screen by Valanciunas. Johnson kicks to Ross. Out left to the wing. Lowry against Conley. Lowry dishes to Valanciunas. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. They get Marc Gasol. And though he's been working on his offensive skills, defense and rebounding are Valanciunas' bread and butter. That was the case with him when he was playing in Lithuania, Clark, and it's the case now.
It still sure is the case. I mean, it's hard to find a guy with his combination of size, athleticism, and fluidity. Just a tad over-aggressive at times, but I'd rather have to turn a guy down than to turn him up.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And watching Valanciunas rebound, it's clear he has all the tools. Great anticipation, really looks to box out. Strong vertical, might just need to add some strength to become a perennial 10-rebound-a-game guy.
Now here is Conley. Allen passes to Gasol. The jump hook. Gasol with another miss. Raptors trail by 5. Stolen by Michael Conley. Now here's Conley, the fast break opportunity. The basket counts and one. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a three-point play.
One shot. Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
They better not. I mean, they've got to pad their lead anytime an opportunity presents itself, and that was a golden one.
And for Valanciunas, he's been working on his defensive consistency. Last year, he actually increased his blocks per game while lowering his fouls per game. That's a big step forward in his development.
And guys, Courtney Lee, now having completed 7 full seasons, very much the same guy now as he was entering the league. A 3-and-D prototype who will most likely never be a plus playmaker.
Memphis leading by 8. Now here's Conley. The feed now to Lee. Allen, a screen on Ross. Lee kicks to Allen with his first shot attempt, and Scola with the block. Lowry with the ball. He's picked up by Lee. Allen against Johnson. Back to Scola. A terrific shot on the turnaround. Scola's got 8. Talking about Courtney Lee, you know the ball handling and court vision are suspect, but you don't care because he's provided solid defense on the wing, Clark, and he's hit over 40% of his threes last year.
And he's also one of the best free throw shooting 2 guards in the league, Kevin. And last year he and Conley were out of sight at the end of games. That's a wonderful combo to have, 2 great free throw shooting guards. Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
And getting to the 10 has been the key. They're getting point-blank looks time and time again.
Now here's Lowry. He's got 6. Screen by Scola. Lowry dishes to Scola. Jumper off the screen. Not enough on that one as it misses.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
Let's check out the Western Conference standings right now that we're here in the new year. Taking a look at Golden State, and not a surprise really to see them sitting there in that #1 spot in the conference. The excellent brand of basketball they've been putting on display lately has been terrific. And of course, Memphis just way behind.
And I think for Memphis, this season has been, it's been solid. But they just need to maintain their place in the standings and get 100% prepared here for the postseason.
I really think this is a dangerous team that could be a popular choice as a playoff sleeper.
Now here's Barnes. Stats on him, he's averaging 9 points a game.
And that's the shot he has to take.
Exactly, that's the right look. The decision was good, he just didn't execute.
Here's Lowry. 6-point game. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for Memphis.
They keep piling up the assists, and they haven't cooled off at all.
They've also been pounding it inside tonight and coming away with a lot of points in the paint. I call those PIPs.
Free throw drops for Kyle Lowry.
And for Kyle Lowry, a guy who just has an unbelievable nose for the basketball, the triple-double comes naturally to him now. Top 10 in the league the past 2 seasons. In his short time with the Raptors, he's already their career leader in that category.
Shot clock at 5. From downtown, and that one's good. Now just a 2-point Grizzly lead.
And how does he get that one to go? No idea.
I don't have an idea either. A little heat check there, but yep, he's still cooking, and Greg, he's cooking with gas.
Now here's Chalmers. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Well, getting back to Kyle Lowry, the reason he's always a triple-double threat, Clark, because of his great work on the glass for a guard. Tough, strong, relentless, and committed to getting rebounds.
He's got the attitude of a power forward, even though he is a point guard. That's why he's one of the best rebounding guards in the league. It's his mentality.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Now, here's Chalmers. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Green missing again.
He is yet to get into the flow of this game. His teammates have done their part, but they need him to pick his game up.
Chalmers against Lowry. Joseph, the pass to Ross. Here's Patterson, and it's good off the back rim and in. Patterson's got 5 points in the quarter.
And so far in the second half, this has been a different kind of game than what we saw early on.
No question about it. I mean, these teams are really battling hard now.
Now, here's Green. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game. Offensive rebound, Gasol. And he gets it to go. Gasol's got 21.
Really another fantastic offensive rebound and putback. This is the second game in a row where he has just been ball dominant.
Lowry against Chalmers. Left side Lowry. Here's Biyombo. It's rebounded by Memphis. Gasol's got his 6th rebound on the night. 1:33 left in the third. Screen by Lee. To the inside. The rebound by Patterson.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
Patterson, the screen. And Joseph kicks to Patterson. And again, Toronto with the triple.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness.
Now, here's Chalmers. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Pass to Lee. Gasol dishes to Chalmers. DeMar DeRozan. He's checked in for Terrence Ross. And the Grizzlies also with the sub. Zach Randolph's checked in for Green. Lee passes to Chalmers. Gasol, a screen on Lowry. 5 on the clock. Chalmers against Lowry. And again, Memphis no good. Toronto's gone 6 of 10 from three-point range, up over 50% for the ball game. And the dunk by Biyombo.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark to the hoop for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
Inside, and stolen by Patterson. Lowry. And that's not going to go. The third quarter comes to a close. Raptors lead by 4. We'll be back shortly live from the Air Canada Centre in downtown Toronto. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. Toronto leading by 4. Taking a look at the Grizzlies. Randolph is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. Conley and Allen in the backcourt. And it's Barnes in at the small forward. Now here's Joseph. Clock at 6. Here's DeRozan. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. Allen's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Stolen by Joseph. And here is Johnson to the right side. Scola with a clean look. That one falls coming off Johnson's feet. And that's now 10 points for Luis Scola. Randolph goes to the reverse layup and drops it in.
Michael Conley with excellent vision on that pass.
A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone right now. And Joseph kicks to Johnson. Johnson draws the double. Out to the right wing. Screen by Scola. Shot clock at 5. From the baseline. Can't get it to go. Good work defensively by Gasol. The Grizzlies trail by 4. Conley with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Picked by Randolph. Pass to Allen. Outside Randolph. Over in the corner, Barnes. With the second effort. Here's Gasol. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
And great effort on the boards, and what a mean
that
was, Gary. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him, Clark, at all times.
And you know what? Sometimes that's not even enough. He'll go around, over, or through you to get to the pumpkin.
Here's Joseph. The Grizzlies making the shot. From past the arc. Scola can't get that one to fall.
Kevin, just enough presence to bother that three-point attempt there.
Yeah, but for a guy that shoots it as well as he does, I'd say that is an easy look. I mean, you never expect to get opportunities that easy coming down the stretch of a tight game.
The Raptors have gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. Joseph dishes to DeRozan. Here's Valanciunas. Buries it down low. And the Raptors lead by 2.
And this has been purely a display of offense that we're seeing here today.
And, you know, it's only getting better as both of these teams' defenses are starting to show signs of wearing down.
And now Dorisburg has an update from the sidelines.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Dave Yeager coaching his team during that break. It's been a hard-fought game, and he just wanted to give his guys a chance to catch their breath, saying, listen, we're right there. Let's make a push right here, put some pressure on them. Let's come out swinging. Kevin?
And the Grizzlies making a change here. Green's checked in. Now here's Randolph. Hits the jump hook. Randolph's got 25 points in the game.
Boy, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
Joseph, the pass to DeRozan. Dishes it to Joseph. And a wide open look for Valanciunas. Gets a very good look and converts. Valanciunas has got 4 points this quarter. Now here's Conley. Defense right on him. Randolph up top. Left side Gasol. Memphis moving it around. Cannot hit. Nice D from Valanciunas.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts.
Here's Conley following the score by DeMar DeRozan. And the rejection by Valanciunas. And DeRozan kicks to Joseph. Back to DeRozan. Shot from 16. Again, Toronto.
Nice pass there to set that bucket up.
And that's 10 of their last 12 points that have come off assists.
Randolph sets a screen for Conley. Kicks it to Randolph. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. And Green gets it to go.
What a time for him to step up. Big three right there.
Toronto leading by 3. Joseph with the ball. Screened by Valanciunas. DeRozan on the wing. 5 to shoot. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And what you have to like out of Valanciunas last season, improved efficiency. The game really, Clark, seemed to slow down for him.
Yeah, he entered the league a little green. I mean, would make a lot of mistakes, but had excellent tools. So with enthusiasm and hard work, you knew it was just a matter of time with him.
That free throw missing.
And for Valanciunas last year, his offensive production was similar to the year before, but he cut down on his turnovers. He also raised his shooting percentage to a career-high 57%, and that, my friends, is improved efficiency.
Courtney Lee, he's checked in for Allen.
You know, talking about Valanciunas, the light clearly went on last season. He was more assertive, refined his postgame. The next step is to extend his shooting range so he can help space the floor on offense.
He might not have the long-range ability of some other guys, but he will knock down open ones like that.
Joseph dishes to Valanciunas. Here's Joseph. Now DeRozan. Feeds it to Joseph. And good, he nails it. And the Raptors lead by 2. For Memphis, they've gotten into a pretty good groove, going 6 of 10 here in the final quarter. Kicked by Randolph, and it's Conley penetrating. No good off the pick.
You know, and after fighting to get back into it, that was the chance there to tie it up.
But you know what? You know, they've come this far. They're not going away now.
Valanciunas, and the Raptors tack on 2 more.
Well, I tell you what, when you get this kind of effort and efficiency from him, they're a really hard team to beat.
Randolph a screen. Conley kicks to Randolph. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Randolph has been superb. 25 points, and he's added to his totals by picking up 3 points at the line as well.
Yeah, that'll balance out that stat sheet nicely. I mean, you always want to see at least a few points from the free throw line.
And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for the Raptors.
You know, I thought maybe they'd cool off a bit at halftime, but they've continued to bury the jump shots.
Something that also stands out tonight is the number of assists they have. I mean, that's a mark of a good club.
The Raptors making a switch here. Lowry's checked in. That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Yeah, they're making the most of their opportunities at the stripe, and they'll need to keep it up to take the lead.
Now, here's Valanciunas. Johnson kicks to DeRozan. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
At the line for your Raptors, DeMar DeRozan. Taking 2 shots.
He misses the free throw. He hits the second from the line. Now here's Conley. Good looking screen by Gasol. Conley, the pass to Lee. Left side Randolph from about 16, and he hits the jump shot. Randolph's got 8 points in the quarter. Raptors with the lead. Lowry kicks to Valanciunas. Lee against DeRozan. Here's Valanciunas. Good D by Lee.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
And, Greg, we've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
Now here's Randolph. Jonas Valanciunas unable to get his shot to go.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Outside Lowry. And he's good on the 3-ball. And the Raptors lead by 4.
And you know what? He's shaking off the cold shooting performance from the first half.
The pass to Gasol. A minute 50 left here in the fourth quarter.
Shots, gentlemen.
Shooting for Toronto. Mark Gasol taking 2 shots.
He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though, and Memphis making a change here. Allen's checked in. And he does get the second one. And that narrows the lead down to just 3.
If he hits all of those, they're feeling a lot more comfortable, but now still a 1-possession game.
Okay, fans, put your hands together for Go Dance Time!
1:49 left in the fourth. Lowry dishes to DeRozan. He kicks it to Valanciunas. To the paint. 11 feet away. The Grizzlies pull it in. Randolph's got 5 rebounds tonight. Conley with it. Now guarded by DeRozan. Pass to Randall. A baseline J. Here's Gasol. Johnson with the block. Raptors leading by 3. Outside Scola. Here's DeRozan. Goes up again. He takes it up and lays it in. DeRozan's got 7 points here in this quarter.
It's starting to look like a repeat of last night, guys. He's battling really hard out there.
And the Grizzlies with possession here. Gasol passes to Conley. Looking for Allen and gets it there.
Now, this is why the breakaway rim was invented. For plays just like that.
Well, he almost brought the whole thing down, Clark, by hanging on that long.
Yeah, he did.
I tell you what, though, great dunk, and this is even a better game we got going on right now.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia. Count it!
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
I want everyone here in Canada Center to get it up and cheer on your dance pad.
And here's Conley outside. No good. Now Toronto takes it the other way. Here's DeRozan. And he makes good on the layup. And the Raptors lead by 7.
And if you thought this game was over already, you're probably right.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's staring us right in the face, and we've been around long enough to know when a game is over. And this one is in that category.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Valanciunas, good.
Didn't take their time in wrapping this game up. They came out with a sense of urgency.
Nice ending spurt to polish it off. Once they had him on the ropes, they started throwing haymakers at him.
The whole knockout blow.
There's 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one, and he gets it to go. 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and that's an intentional foul.
Substitution on the court.
15 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And they go to the intentional foul.
That's his third personal foul. Shooting for Toronto, DeMar DeRozan. at the line for two.
Shooting two. Shooting two.
So the first one drops, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. Carter with the three. Green kicks to Barnes. The shot by Carter. Nobody around. Knocks down the three. And so the big win by Toronto in a tight game. It was up for grabs right until the final seconds, Clark.
You know what? They showed their character in crunch time, though, doing what had to be done to send these fans home happy.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Kyle, congratulations on this win. Tell us what the team's objective was tonight that most helped in getting this victory.
Everybody played. We all played together. We stayed, aggressive and stayed the course of the game.
Cohesiveness and aggressiveness, a pretty good combination. Thanks for the time, Kyle. Guys?
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up, folks. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching. And now time to send it over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson for the postgame show.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Jonas Valanciunas.
This guy is efficient. He don't believe in taking bad shots. He's all about the high-quality shots. It makes him a powerful presence in the low post, and he can impact the game on the defense end, too. He takes a lot of pride in protecting the rim.
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys. I'd call his performance economical because there was no wasted opportunity. He took advantage of every good look he got. I mean, everything he put up was going in.
And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a good night, everybody.